Welcome to Let It Fly Show. I am Michael Severe, joined by a special guest this week, Lawrence Michelson, who is from KETV. Josh has been in and out today, so we can get some help. And you know what? It's a big week to preview the Huskers. You cover the Huskers, of course, KETV, and so it's awesome to have you here.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
So tell us your background. How'd you end up in Omaha, Nebraska?
Right. So this is actually my third season covering the Corn Huskers, which is crazy to think about. I started my career in Lincoln, so not too far, and worked at the ABC station there for about a year and a half, and then got the call to come apply to KETV, and been here about since February, so almost not 9 months then. So it's gone by really quick, but Omaha's great. I always tell people this is such a unique sports market because, as you know, we don't have a pro team, Supernovas now, Union Omaha, but it's just the fan base here, whether it's Nebraska, whether it's Creighton, they are so passionate, and it hooks you right away. So staying was kind of a no-brainer. A
lot of people still ask me, how do I get in TV? I want to do sports, I want to do news. When I got in, it was my first job was in '94. So it's a long time ago. Things have changed. How do you answer that question if somebody asks you?
Right, and I wasn't even alive. I
know you weren't.
But oh my gosh, I mean, it's a tough industry, and you have to be willing to not take what many would call the dream job right away. And you have to be resilient, and you have to keep working hard until you get that first yes out of college. Yes. I graduated from the University of Missouri in 2022, so I'm still quite young. I know. Mizzou, right? But and I applied to probably 30 jobs, and then coming out of school, I had 3 offers, all in college sports towns.
Well, that's good though.
Which was good.
That's really good.
But took a lot of. I had been applying for probably 7 months. And you just have to stay resilient. You have to really be willing to meet people and learn and talk, and don't say no to opportunity. Like how I'm here with you today. Like randomly was driving the grocery store, got the text from you. So it's just always good to take a risk.
It's another thing I always tell kids when I go talk to them. I said, don't ever pass up an opportunity. I tell them the story about I had an opportunity to do this thing with ESPN and didn't do it. I'm glad I didn't, looking back, but there's always that chance, and I always tell them don't do that. It hasn't changed a lot, because when I got out of college, I sent out like 35 tapes. The old tapes, and it costs a lot of money to ship out those tapes, and I had to borrow money to be able to get my resume done professionally, to be able to, it hasn't changed much. It hasn't changed much. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I tell people, if anyone young is watching, if you don't have to be working for a linear outlet to create content, you have a phone, go out there and make stuff happen. It's not expensive anymore to get a tape and go do it, and so I always tell young people that too.
Yeah, it's space. It's a cloud. I mean, there's unlimited space for you to do that. We are, of course, live at the Let It Fly Sports Bar in the Capital District. Of course, reminder that out in Elkhorn, the west one is open as well if you want to head out there. And the show is presented by Bud Light. No matter where you are, you're heading from the store, don't drive and drink. Whether you're in your basement or you're here at the Let It Fly Sports Bar, Bud Light is a great thing to do. Easy drinking, easy buckets, easy spikes, easy homers very soon throughout Nebraska. Easy to drink and easy to enjoy. It's going to be a busy weekend in sports and here at Let It Fly Sports Bar. Starting off Friday. Friday you got Creighton, and you got Nebraska volleyball going on, right, which is going to be awesome. The World Series starts. The World Series with the Yankees and Dodgers. I'm 8 years old. 1977 they play. This is the first time they had played in my lifetime. They play in 77. There is a strike. I'm living in the Bronx, New York. There is a strike going on with the police department. There's a strike going on with the garbage workers. The same time, Muhammad Ali is trying to fight Ken Norton in Yankee Stadium, and the season had gone longer because the Yankees had been bad, so they had to move the fight back. Yankees beat the Dodgers 77 and 78, but the Dodgers come back in 81.
Oh my gosh.
Win it behind Fernando Valenzuela, who just passed away this week, the left-handed pitcher, the sensation. So this is a reunion of a rivalry that went on for a long time, but hasn't been in forever.
Oh my gosh. I think they might set new records with this whole World Series.
TV-wise?
So many eyes on this,
Yeah, you get the traditionally most popular team in the sport with the other traditionally most popular team in the sport. I mentioned Nebraska volleyball, Creighton volleyball going on. Then Saturday, of course, 11 a.m., bright and early, Nebraska at Ohio State. Currently about a 25-point dog is where Nebraska is now, coming off of last week, and we'll get into last week in a second. But then you got Creighton basketball Saturday night, and you have the exhibition, the charity exhibition, which is pretty awesome. It's going to be benefit the United Way of the Midlands Disaster Relief Fund because of all those storms we had that came through. Are you covering that game?
So I'll be in studio that night. We don't have a 6 o'clock show, so I'll be able to sneak out.
Nice.
My coworker Matt Satilli and I will be there. I'm so excited. I mean, talk about. I'm sure it's going to be packed. We can't ask for a better dress rehearsal to the season than playing Purdue.
Yeah, you get the 13th and 14th team, or if it's a different poll, it's like the 14th and 15th team, somewhere in there. But it is exciting because we didn't. So I'll tell you now, this didn't happen. So there was no preseason, there were no open scrimmages, nothing. Now, being able to get a taste of what to expect, you guys get some tape on the new guys.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome for you.
It's perfect, and it's just exciting. I mean, let's talk about something other than Nebraska, which, of course, that's great to talk about. But it's good to have something on Saturday to be excited about.
Yeah, no doubt. And here at the bar, we'll have specials, drink specials, and, of course, food specials as well on Saturday for the College Football Watch Party. Cool. And then Sunday, NFL Watch Party, as you expect. Chiefs and Raiders at 3:25. The night game, speaking about old rivals, Cowboys and Niners playing.
Wow.
Now, they're not the same teams they were at the beginning of the season because of injuries, but still, it's still a big game for Sunday night.
Right.
And our guest this week is Isaac Traudt, the forward, who, of course, joined Nebraska last year after he transferred from Virginia. We're going to chat with him coming up. Actually, Josh was here for that, so we have that on tape. But we're going to get into our headlines. And our number one headline, of course, is Nebraska playing Ohio State Saturday at 11 o'clock. Big Fox is there because they're also honoring Urban Meyer that day, Ohio State is.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big thing as well. Your feel going into the game, coming off of 56-7 against Indiana.
Look, Nebraska drew a tough card. I mean, you have the bye. You think it's going to set them up for some good momentum, some good success. Yeah. No one thought for sure, they're going to go and beat Indiana handily, but we thought it would be competitive.
Sure.
And then, that was a meltdown of epic proportions. And now you have arguably the toughest team on their schedule now, one of the toughest teams in the nation. And, I mean, it comes down to, don't beat yourself this week.
Yeah.
I mean, so much of this weekend will be a mental game for this team, and I just hope that they can rise.
Yeah, and it's been, the problem with this is Nebraska fans who've been Nebraska fans since Nebraska started. They always tell you, I go way back to Bob Devaney. My great-grandfather had tickets, same ticket, every time. I went back to 2011 and charted – 2011, the year that Nebraska enters the Big Ten. So I go back and I look at how many times they've lost by 28 or more, and I compared it to teams that you'd compare stuff to, like Kansas State, Iowa, Wisconsin, Tennessee, a bunch of schools. Nebraska's had 15 of these 28 or more losses, 8 of them where they give at least 50 points to the opponent since 2011. So essentially almost one a year. And one every other year, you're giving up 50. Eventually, that's got to wear on a fan, right? Because you invest all of this, obviously your energy, but your money and your time, and then every time you're right there, they just.
But that's what makes this fan base unique.
I know.
Because they won't falter against supporting this team, and that's what makes it tough. Is it felt like they're on the brink of something so special. I'm not saying they're not. I mean, they're 5-2, but it's just. It's disappointing to see what happened on Saturday, and this could be a weekend where you don't have to go out there and win. No one's expecting them to win, but can you go out there and fight and play hard?
Exactly. I know there's no moral victories. I understand. But if Nebraska keeps this game close, call it whatever you want. You'll feel better having the game against UCLA at home the next week. Some notes about this series. 8 times they've played since Nebraska entered the Big Ten. They've won 1. Average score, 46-20, Ohio State. The Buckeyes, of course, coming off a bye after they lost the game to Oregon in being undefeated. They have the number 1 running back room in college football. You've got Quishon Junkins, who transferred in from Ole Miss, and Trevion Henderson, one of my favorite players in the Big Ten. You have 2 of the top receivers, number 2 and 3 in receiving in the Big Ten, Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Ibuka. And then you have Will Howard, quarterback who transferred from Kansas State. I believe if there's one thing that Nebraska can do, I think is get pressure, and I think you can get to him. And I think that he might be the weak link on this team.
I think absolutely. That's kind of been the talk is can you pressure him and make him falter a little bit? I mean, we've seen this defense rise up to that occasion multiple times this year. Let's see it happen again.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And talking about their defense, number 1 defense in the Big Ten, top defense in the country, one of the top defenses in the country. But they don't pressure the quarterback a ton. They got 0 hits on Dylan Gabriel against Oregon 2 weeks ago. A lot of the big games, they haven't been getting a lot of pressure. Now, the concern is 1 out of every 3 times that Dylan drops back to pass, he's been under pressure, according to PFF. So that's scary.
Yeah.
But I think you can attack their cornerbacks. I think you can throw the ball down try at least, right? Attack, see what happens. The worst thing that can happen is an interception downfield.
Right.
It's like a punt. Maybe you get an interference call. Maybe you catch the ball. So some things you can probably do. And that's gonna be my keys later. But
right. Okay.
Ohio State's also second in the Big Ten in scoring average, yards per game. I mentioned total defense, scoring defense, they're number 1, and they're number 1 in opponent adjusted efficiency.
Oh, that's interesting.
So we know they're good. We know they're
of course.
good. Yeah. Coming up, headline number 2, coming off of Big East Media Days, Ryan Kalkbrenner, Player of the Year, preseason Player of the Year. Pretty cool accolade for a guy who is a multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year, but to be acknowledged like this is pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I mean, the buzz around this program right now, it seems like every season there's a buzz, but with him coming back and there's so many high expectations, but with him leading that team and just deciding to be here, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start to this season.
Yeah, and the way the defense is built, it really requires having him in there. They don't foul a lot, but they also don't give a lot of buckets at the basket, and he's just perfect for that defense. So number 2 in the preseason poll is Creighton. UConn's number 1, but they got all but one of the first place votes. Marquette at 4 got one of them. Like, who voted for that? Is it like somebody out of Milwaukee?
Wow.
Like, can you do that? It was very strange to see the way they did that. Preseason all-conference team, Alex Caravan, Marquette's Cam Jones, who is a fun player to watch, St. John's Kadari Richmond, Bryce Hopkins from Providence, and Eric Dixon from Nova, who has given Creighton all kind of problems over the years. And I mentioned Player of the Year, Kalkbrenner, and then UConn's Liam McNeely is your preseason freshman of the year, and Stephen Ashworth made third team in there, so that's pretty cool. You feel like, based off of so last year was the first year you pretty much covered Creighton? Because in Lincoln, you guys really don't cover Creighton, right?
No, we don't. I mean, I loved following them, so I would air highlights and maybe whether that was liked or not, but that's okay. I mean, they had such so much success. So I got here in February and actually ended up following Nebraska women in the tournament. But my coworker Matt followed Creighton. The first game I covered here for Creighton basketball was the upset over UConn. So that was great.
That's awesome.
Great start. But no, this will be my first full season covering them. And I mean, mad respect for this program. So excited to just be immersed in probably one of the best basketball conferences in the country, if not the best.
It's pretty close to being the best. So you went to Missouri. Where are you from originally?
Kansas City. So this Kansas side of Kansas City, Overland Park, to be exact. So diehard Chiefs fan, Royals fan. A lot to be happy with for both teams this year, more or less.
Yeah. So you have at least an operating knowledge of this area, where Matt Satilli comes from Boston.
I know.
That nothing like Boston, like here, is in Boston.
I know.
They don't even know college is going on most times there.
You don't need to.
No, you don't. You got too many pro teams. So you don't worry about it. Right. We are going to take a break. We're going to go to our interview with Isaac Traudt, the forward from Creighton, and then after we'll come back with more from Lauren as well. We'll do the keys to the game and get predictions when we come back here on Let It Fly Show.
On a Sunday. Gotta go. I forgot the sausage. You guys ready to eat? There you go. On a Sunday.
All right, welcome back to Let It Fly Show. We are joined now by Creighton forward Isaac Traudt here on the show. A second appearance. On the show.
He too good for us.
No, it's good. Two appearances is good. Talk about your offseason. How's that been? How did things go for you?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I feel like I improved a lot in a lot of areas that I needed to improve on. So that was good. And then I think as a team, we brought in a lot of new guys, some freshmen too, but everyone's meshing really well. I feel like the team's in a really good spot right now, and then obviously play Saturday and then take off from there. So we're excited.
So let me ask you this.
We're all excited.
You say you feel like you learned some new stuff, right?
Yeah.
Kind of reference that. What are some of those things that you, from your perspective?
Yeah.
You mean like just from playing last year?
You played last year, and I'm gonna get into the threes, and we can talk about that. I'm just saying, like, in general, like, everybody got a takeaway from last year to this year. Like, what's something that you learned about yourself, or something that you feel like you've improved at?
I feel like. So in the offseason, I lost about 20 pounds or so, which was something.
How much you weighed last year?
Like 240, 245.
Was that
225.
Was that unhealthy for yourself or what?
No, if you be playing down low, you'd need that.
Yeah,
but if you're out in the wing.
So when I was at Virginia, I think, that's a different style of play. They want guys to be
methodical and bulked. Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened there. And then I got here, and then the way we play, I didn't need that much weight. It made things a lot more difficult. So now losing 20 pounds has helped a lot. And so I'm moving a lot better and getting to a lot more spots because of that.
Yeah. When you decided to come here and leave Virginia and come to Creighton, obviously you had an idea what the team was because you're from Nebraska.
Yeah.
But what surprised you, if anything, about how they played or how Matt coached?
I think just the pace that we play with. I think, Creighton people are used to it. They're used to seeing us flying up and down the court. But so in high school, I never obviously played that fast. And at Virginia, we sure didn't either.
Right.
So then when I got here in the summer and in the fall practices, every day felt like a track meet. So that was kind of what took me by surprise the most about it.
For sure. Was it man, I definitely want to get into this 3-point conversation. But from what you just said, was it, besides the pace, were there things that you feel like you didn't learn and you learned as you played for Mac? Or was you already knew kind of certain things about positioning and stuff like that? It just was getting acclimated to the pace?
A lot of it was getting acclimated to the pace, I would say. But, the way we do things here was a lot different than what we did at Virginia. Here, we don't want to give up baseline. And things like that. We're always in black ball screen coverage, what we call it here, kind of a drop. And that wasn't a thing at Virginia, so I wasn't doing that ever there. So those were two big things that I had to get used to. And now I feel like I'm in a spot where I know what the coaches expect of us defensively, where to be, and things like that. So I think that took almost a full year to fully grasp.
Isaac Traudt joining us here on Let It Fly Show. Going to your practices, you guys practice like you play. I mean, you guys go.
Yeah.
Do you feel that style of practice has you ready for the first game, or does it take a little while, you think, to be ready to play against an opponent at that speed?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think in the scrimmage, I think we felt good. But once you get out there in a real game with the adrenaline, the fans, and everything, you get a little winded right away, the first 5 minutes especially. So I think the way we practice really helps with games. Getting into game shape is a different thing than just running straight down and backs through practice. So I think we do a good job of that.
Let's talk about these threes, bro.
Before you get, I want you talk about Jeremy for a second and how he helps you do that, and then we'll get into morning gameplay.
Yeah, no, I mean he's like a scientist. Yeah. Really. I mean, he had a pretty detailed plan for me. Like he wanted me to get to this certain weight by a certain time, and I hit that goal, and now I just have to maintain it. But in the off seasons, things like that, our conditioning, it's very particular. Like one day we'll do 16 tempo runs. The next day it'll be 18. It's just a slow build up because he doesn't want to hurt our hamstrings. We go from 10 one day to 20 the next. He's a scientist. He has it down to a science. And I think that's why we play our best basketball towards the end of the season, because he uses all this data, practice, and everything to make sure it's the best.
Yeah, wasn't it only Jason Green that was injured last year? Or was there more? I
mean, yeah, I think he was the only one, and that was a hand deal. That wasn't.
Yeah, that was a freak injury.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's. I mean, I only brought that up because when I watch Jeremy, it's almost like, have you ever seen somebody passionate about something?
Oh, he loves it.
Yeah, man, he into your workouts. It's crazy, Yeah. So that's. It just made me think of Jason. It makes sense what you're saying. He was the only person hurt, and that was just because of playing. So I'm one that believe that I think you like a diamond in the rough, a hidden gem. I think you're the best shooter on the team, but you didn't shoot last year. Talk about why. Do you feel was it the pace? Was it the program? Was it you?
Yeah, I think it was a lot of things. I think the main thing was I didn't know where I needed to be at all times. I was getting kind of acclimated to everything. The pace of play, maybe a little bit, but just being in the right spots on offense, knowing when to move, knowing when to cut, that's something that I know more now that I didn't last year. And also just being able to move better now. Now I'm able to come off screens, off pin downs, and shoot threes. Instead of last year, I was just kind of like a corner specialist, really. And it's a lot easier to guard it's a lot easier to guard a shooter when he's not moving, but when coming off pin downs, flares and stuff makes it harder. So I think I'll be in more actions this year to make more threes.
Yeah, I think opportunity too, right? If you know that you're only going to get 2 or 3 threes and you miss the first one,
man, I've been there, bro.
That's got to be difficult to be able to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, the numbers even themselves out is what I tell myself. So if I miss the first one, probably making the second. If not, then the next one.
Right.
But like that's just my mindset. Next one's in.
Sure.
But yeah, it is tough when your numbers were limited for attempts like last year.
Y'all had some nice players too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
So let me ask you this though, like, do you understand that like now versus did you understand that this last year that when you got in, they literally wanted you to get it up when you got the look?
Yeah. Yeah, I did understand that. They made that a priority for me, but at the same time, I didn't want to get in there and just start chucking bad ones. I wanted to make sure they were within the offense.
Respect.
And
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but like this year, they're always telling me hunt shots. Come off screens, make sure you're ready to shoot, and I think I've done a better job of that.
So never, when you went to go pull up, did they yell, "Hey, no"?
They didn't just show you.
No.
That was
No, good shot.
Yeah. Hey, ask Coach Mack for real. Yeah. But that's you.
Yeah.
Like you got that, man.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
Like. Go ahead, man.
I was going to say, talk about some newcomers, because we had Jemiah Neal on last week, talked to him. Kind of tell us what he's bringing so far to practice and what you see from him.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably one of the more explosive players I've played with. He's really good in transition. They played a different style at Arizona State. So I think he was getting more acclimated to the style here, but I think he's doing a lot better job taking good shots at all times, distributing the ball really well too. He's done really well, especially the last couple months.
Nice. What would you consider his game? Like, we watch you guys play against him. He was a super athlete.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes, like, you know how they say in boxing, styles make fights? I feel like him playing for ASU caused him to do different things.
Yeah.
What would you consider him as a Blue Jay? Like, what's his style of play? What's his role?
I mean, he can be our best defender. I mean, he has the tools to do that whenever he wants to. And, he's a slasher. But he can also shoot is the thing. Like, a lot of times slashers just want to get to the rim at all times and don't really have anything else. But he can shoot the mid-range. He can shoot the three. He can really do it all. So he's a great athlete, but also really skilled too.
Okay.
Isaac Traudt joining us here on Let It Fly Show. We had Jackson McAndrew on a couple months ago.
Right.
I had to give the kid a ride home. He could barely fit in my car. His legs are so long.
Yeah.
I was like, you gonna be all right? I can't push the seat back any farther. What about his game?
He's been shooting it really well too. He's super skilled. He's getting more used to the system as well too. It's really hard coming from high school. This is something I struggled with when I got to college too. Coming from high school, you're the best player that you play against, and then you come here and you're not. So I think that's something that he kind of struggled with, not because he was taking bad shots or anything, but I think he just wasn't very assertive. He didn't really know where he fit in. But he's been more assertive. He's been a lot better.
So are you going to play dropping weight? Is that more so to get acclimated with the pace and get the shots and looks you're supposed to be in your role? Or are you going to play more of a 3 or 4 or both or what?
Probably mostly 4 for now. I guess we'll see. It kind of depends on defensively what the other team has.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
If they have a 3-man that's incredibly athletic and, like a Jemiah, they probably wouldn't put me on him.
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, if they had a 3-man that was more of a shooter or something, then possibly.
Okay.
So.
Anybody that I'm missing? I know Pop Isaacs is new, and there's other guys too.
Yeah.
Anybody else from practice that you look at and you go, we're going to be hearing about that kid this year?
Yeah, I mean, Ty Davis has been doing really well. He's probably the best passer I've ever played with.
Wow.
Better than Ashworth. You didn't play with Nimhard, did you?
No,
okay.
I didn't. So, yeah. I mean, they're both really good passers. But the thing with Ty is he's left-handed naturally. Like, that's his thing.
You, lefties.
He shoots right-handed.
They are special.
Yeah. He shoots right-handed, but he does everything else left-handed.
Wow.
So he's able to throw the full court, like skip pass to the corner with his left too.
Dang.
Oh, wow.
Which Steven isn't able to do.
Ambidextrous.
He's ambidextrous.
My son is left-handed too, man. I think I'm trying to make him.
Yeah.
So you said he ball dominant, shoot with the right, but he make plays with his left.
Yes.
So you never know what side to play off him. Because you don't know.
That's tough.
That's kind of an advantage.
That's hard to guard,
That's kind of an advantage.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about what happened. Obviously, you were at Virginia. Tony Bennett decides that he's going to retire.
Yeah.
What was that like for you to see that it pops up on Twitter or whatever else for you to see him
get to the Final Four or to the tournament, he'll lose probably. That's that's my take.
He's still a fairly young man, though. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he's only 55.
I'm 55.
You're young.
I'm not really young.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, but it was a surprise, I'm assuming.
It was a surprise. I mean, I kind of figured that he probably wouldn't coach for a lot longer, just because I know that he didn't love the whole portal and NIL situation. He's a very old school guy, and he likes to stick to what has worked for him in the past. But I was just thankful to hear that it wasn't health related. That was kind of my concern right away. Yeah. They hadn't had a press release, so I think the world of him still, and I always will. He's an amazing guy, but that was my main thing, is that it wasn't a health concern, because that was my first thought right away.
I think we all thought that too. Yeah. Let's go some rapid fire questions. You got a favorite gaming system that you play? Are you a gamer?
I have an Xbox, but I kind of like to play the Wii more.
Really?
Honestly, like the old school games.
Okay, all right.
Would you play like Wii Tennis or what?
I play Wii Play. I like to play Mario Kart a lot, actually.
That's I like playing with the kids. Yeah. I enjoy it. And the boxing, man.
Yeah.
The boxing. Yeah. Where are you out?
Who you room with? Or you by yourself?
I room with a friend. His name is Gabe Murphy.
Oh, he play or just you?
We play together, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice. You're in Omaha. Go-to meal. What's the meal? What's the spot? And you can't say Qdoba or Chipotle, because that's all people ever answer.
Yeah. If I want a steak, I'll go to. I've only been there once, but Mahogany. I think is the best steak in Omaha.
It's the best steak in Omaha.
If I just want a fast food spot, I really like Burger Detour.
Okay. I've been there.
West.
Yeah.
Really
there
good.
used to be one downtown. Yeah.
For sure. Really good. So I'd say those two, but I like to make my own food, honestly.
Yeah, but you're a beef guy.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh yeah.
Oh, can you cook a little bit?
A little bit.
What's your specialty?
Ramen noodles.
Mostly like meats and stuff.
Okay.
I like to smoke stuff. So.
Oh, you're a griller.
Yeah, like
Look at you.
Now you lost pounds, bro. Last summer, just passed. Remember we talked about that?
I found every pound he dropped.
Man, I was smoking. Facebook Marketplace.
Oh yeah.
A guy gave me a brand new smoker.
Nice.
Because it wasn't electric. And I was like, oh, man.
I don't even want an electric one. Yeah, I'm a charcoal guy.
And I gained so much weight, bro.
I'm a charcoal guy.
Respect.
Last one, before I get to your goals. Last one, what do you drink? Are you a soda guy? Are you just a flavored water, seltzer? What do you do?
I drink a lot of coffee, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So your go-to coffee, is it black? Because you got a couple creams in there, flavored creamer, sugar, salt?
A little cream, but not a lot.
So
I drink
a
splash.
Yeah.
Little splash.
Yeah. Just a little bit of cream.
Who put you on the coffee, man?
I mean, honestly, I started drinking in middle school. It sounds crazy, but
my youngest is a cup every morning. Been doing it since he was 7.
Yeah. I just love the taste.
There you go.
Yeah.
That same thing he said.
So you an early bird?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I bet every morning coffee. You can't sleep. Last thing, personal goals for this year?
Just to help the team as much as I can. You know, I'm not quite sure what my role will look like right now, and. I just tell myself to do my best every single day and kind of let the rest take care of itself. But I know I can help this team on the floor. I believe that. So just kind of doing my best to help the team win.
I got two
professional
more.
answer right there.
It is. Yeah, but you're realistic, though, with your
Yeah.
I mean, we watch you closely in your role because we knew what you bring to the table. It was just, Ashworth said it. Everybody who comes to the Big East for the first year is just like
learning
you, man.
Environment. Yeah.
It's the best conference in America, man, and it's fast, it's physical, athletic.
Yeah.
So I think it's everything we know you are about. I think it's gonna happen. Yeah. My question is, who you looking forward to? Obviously, UConn is a rival, but who you looking forward to playing this year?
Well, obviously Kansas at home will be really
That's
cool.
Gonna be lit.
But I think also going to Alabama will be really fun too.
Last time, remember how they
right.
90 to 92?
I know.
Yeah.
Did you know Trelly Ricel before?
Not a lot. So I think I was a freshman or sophomore when he was a senior.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We weren't in the same conference either, so we didn't really. I think we played each other once, but I was so young that
for sure.
He probably didn't know who I was when we were playing.
Yeah.
But
it's a good schedule.
Nebraska people, we seem to come to you and me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. He's doing great. Yeah.
Eisman, we appreciate it.
Yeah,
good luck this season.
Can't
Thanks for taking the time.
Get him up.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, shoot him up.
I will.
All right, welcome back to Let It Fly Show. We appreciate Isaac Traudt coming on and chatting with us, and Josh coming in to do that interview as well. Lauren Michelson, we talked about earlier from KETV, back to do our keys and to talk about, it's Friday is when this is going to air. So this is the French Dip Friday.
Looks pretty good.
It's the special. It's $14. You get the sandwich on really good French-like bread, a bunch of fries, the au jus, and then this little horseradish dip stuff is delicious.
That
it's
looks
really
like
good.
The best part almost.
It is. It's one of my favorite parts of it. And it surprised me because I grew up eating French dips when I was a little kid. And I've got kind of a, I don't know, I'm kind of like, I don't trust you. And I had it, and I remember thinking, wow, this is really good. So check that out when you come out to start the weekend. Anytime other than when we have a game going on locally, they have a game day menu so they can keep up.
Oh, great,
and this is something that takes a little bit longer to prepare. So it's not on the game day menu, but it's on the regular menu.
Cool.
So you can check that out. All right, game keys. All right?
Oh, man.
I know you weren't born in 94. What year were you born?
I don't want to tell you.
So 2001?
2000.
2000. Okay, I was pretty close. Do you know the band Wilson Phillips?
No.
Damn it. They had a really good hit in 1992. Here's the lines from the first part of the song.
Oh, man, okay.
I know this pain. Why do you lock yourself up in these chains? No one can ever change your life except you. Don't let anyone step all over you. The name of this song is the first key for Nebraska this week. Hold on. You've got to hold on. You got to hold on to the first quarter and keep it close. You got to hold on to halftime. You can't let them get away. No matter what happens, you got to hold on. And if you can hold on
to the football too.
Hold on to definitely hold on to football. But Ohio State, as we mentioned, they're coming off a bye. Sometimes teams can be a little rusty off a bye. You never know. But they are angry.
Yeah.
Last time they played, they lost. They're coming off the bye. They're at home. It's 11 a.m. Maybe it's noon for their time.
Yeah.
It's a sleepy start, maybe. So hold on. Survive the first quarter. Get to halftime within striking distance. And you never know.
Right.
Last night, when we tape this on Thursday. On Wednesday night, Kennesaw State, literally the worst team in college football in Division I. The worst. Ranked 134th. Beat Liberty as 25-point underdogs.
Any given Saturday or Wednesday.
Or Wednesday, exactly. Okay. Key number two. Ain't nobody giving Nebraska a chance, right? Ain't nobody giving Nebraska a chance. Betting line's 25. When your back's up against the wall, who do you call? Now, I know this movie came up before you were born.
Oh, God. I'm the worst person to have.
No, this is good. This is Rocky Balboa.
Oh, okay.
So you had Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4. We don't count Rocky 5. It doesn't exist.
Okay.
And then we jump over to Rocky Balboa.
Great.
In Rocky Balboa, he talked about the situation. He said, it ain't about how hard you get hit. It ain't about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you get hit and can you keep moving forward. How much can you take and keep moving forward? That's how winning is done. Look, you took a lot from Indiana last week. A lot.
Yeah.
More than any human should take. And now you're going to play Ohio State. You just got to keep getting up. You got to keep fighting. You got to throw haymakers. You got to try everything, too. I mentioned going deep earlier. You got to have Harburg in there, trying to maybe run him and quarterback run game. There's a bunch of things you can do.
Let's see Dylan Raiola roll the dice a little bit more, take a little bit more risk.
Take some chances.
Please, yes.
You got big wide receivers. Their corner, who was preseason All-American, Denzel Burke, got roasted against Oregon. Roasted.
Yeah.
It was like 8 catches for 160-some yards. Attack them. Go after them. You get knocked down, keep getting up. That's how winning is done. And then the last one.
Oh, God.
This one you know.
Oh, thank God.
This song you know. Okay?
All right, let's hear it.
It's Kendrick and Taylor Swift.
Oh, great.
Okay?
Okay.
So I start off by saying, stop the run, make Will Howard beat you. I want you to have bad blood against Will Howard. All right? Bad blood. You got to do like Kendrick said. We got bad blood now. You have to do what the Huskers do. Make them bloody. Win in the trenches. Stop the damn run. You got bad blood against them. Come out with that. Stop the run. Make Will Howard beat you.
Hey, those were creative.
Those are my keys.
And perfect, if you ask me.
My keys. So you got to first, hold on. Just hold on.
It means many things.
Keep it close. Hold on. Don't hold.
Oh, no.
You get a lot of penalties. Don't hold. But hold on to the ball like you said. And hold on. Make it to halftime. And then see where you are, because you never know. You got to do what you got to do. So, and And then the other key, of course, is, like I said about, you get knocked down, get back up, do like Rocky Balboa, and then, of course, stop the run and make Will Howard beat you. Here are some horrible trends heading into this game. Matt Rule, in his career, is 2-21 versus ranked teams. Since he's been at Nebraska, he's 0-5 now, losing by an average margin of 20. Plus, Nebraska's not beaten a ranked team since 2016. Were you in middle school in 2016? Or still in high school?
High school.
High school. Middle. Her junior year of high school was the last time Nebraska beat a ranked team. You know who it is?
Yeah, it was. Was it Oregon?
It is Oregon.
Yeah, it was Oregon.
Little irony. Little irony. Little irony right there. I'm picking, personally, Ohio State to win. Weird game. 37-12.
Yes, I saw that.
It's a weird score, I know. Yeah. 37-12. The irony of all of this in my prediction, Nebraska makes 4 field goals.
Oh, I would love to see that.
How incredible would that be?
Oh, that'd be
They
great.
make 4 field goals. And they keep it close, and then Ohio State gets a late score to kind of pull it away a little bit.
Yes. One, that would prove so beneficial to the confidence of just special teams. Confidence is a word. God, we've talked about that a lot.
Confidence
this
is
week.
huge.
Why are we talking about confidence this far into the season?
Yeah.
Well, that's to go with one of your keys. Don't beat yourself.
Right.
Get off to a fast start. Don't let Ohio State score in their opening drive. We don't want a repeat of Indiana in that sense, because mindset-wise, like, not to speak for this team, but with where they're at right now, you don't want to give them any opportunities early. Start fast. Both sides of the ball. I mean, come on.
Yeah, because, they're at home. They already have momentum. There was a time in Indiana game. It's 21-14. Nebraska gets the 21-7. Nebraska gets the ball back. They're getting the ball to start the second half. If they go down and score on that drive, and it's 21-14 going to half, and you get the ball coming out, it's completely different.
Different story.
Instead, they don't score. Indiana goes down and scores again, makes it 28-7. It's a whole different game.
Right.
You have a score pick? Prediction? Predictions!
I'd say I'm going
write it down.
37-12 is what we've seen.
Lauren?
I'll go.
What do you put?
I'll go 42.
42. Okay.
I think their offense.
I think 42 is actually their point. I think that's their team total, I think.
Okay. And then let's do like 17 Nebraska. Let's get a little bit more.
42-17, yeah. And the hope is it's like 28-17 at some point.
I know.
And then they make a mistake, it gets away a little bit, but you can go, hey, it was 28-17.
If
it wasn't
walk
bad.
away saying they're competitive, in every quarter of this game, let's play a complete 4 quarters, which we really haven't seen from Nebraska yet this season.
That's a good call by you, not any of the games.
But, against a team like this, no one's, like I mentioned earlier, no one's expecting them to win. But let's see them rise to this occasion, play hard, be the more physical team, which, but at least try and match Ohio State's physicality, which we also have not seen a lot.
Yeah, and you said emotion, so you got to both be mentally prepared, you got to keep your emotions under control, and you have to play well.
Oh, my gosh.
Those 3 things together. Special thanks to Isaac Traudt for coming in and doing an interview with us. Mac Pittman, who came in, and he did some work because he wasn't supposed to be here today, and he showed up. We appreciate him.
Woo.
Lauren Michelson showed up. She wasn't supposed to be here today.
Right.
Phil, who was our executive producer, was supposed to be here today. Didn't do much. But still, he was here. Social media was handled by Meg. You met her, the wonderful nails. She was great. Again, want to thank our lead sponsor, our presenting sponsor, Bud Light. As we mentioned earlier, no matter where you are, if you're watching volleyball, if you're watching baseball, if you're watching basketball, you're watching football, which you can watch, and hockey, like all right now.
Everything.
Enjoy your Bud Light. Easy to drink and easy to enjoy. And a reminder as well, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit it a couple different times. Like, subscribe, unsubscribe, all that stuff. It helps us out. And then if you're listening on Spotify or Apple or whatever like that as well. Lauren, you get the final word. What is your word on this weekend of sports?
Oh, my gosh. Just lock in and enjoy. We don't get many weekends like this where it seems like everything is going on.
Yeah.
So, there's a time and a place to go to the pumpkin patch and do the fall thing.
Not now.
No, you get a free buy to just lock in, sit on your couch, and just watch everything.
Yeah, because July is coming. We're going to have another July, and there's nothing going on.
And that sucks.
Yeah, it's not good at all. Lauren, we appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
It's fun working with you. And we'll join you next week again on the Let It Fly Show.